Welcome back to the news at 10. We go now to Katsina State, where the governor of the state, Aminu Masari, says his administration is committed to improving the standards of education in the state. Speaking at the convocation of the Umaru Musa Yar'Adua University, Governor Masari challenged the management of the institution to ensure probity and accountability in the use of funds.
Governor Aminu Masari of Katsina State leading the management of the state-owned university to the second convocation of the Umaru Musa Yar'Adua University, Katsina. Over 4,000 graduates drawn from 4 sets are participating in the ceremonies. Among them are 54 first-class graduates. The state governor promises to remain committed to improving the level of education in the state, but he insists that the management of the institution must show accountability in the discharge of their responsibility.
This administration believes that the university must take internal generation of revenue very seriously in order to be financially viable. We are committed to providing necessary support to enhance service delivery. The present administration will continue to encourage the university to expand its horizon so long as it continues to run its affairs in accordance with extant laws of the state, which provide some degree of autonomy to the university.
The Vice-Chancellor of the university, Professor Idris Issa, explains that the institution is leveraging on several partnerships to establish specialized centers within the university.
The university, from inception, noted the important role of energy towards the socio-economic development of the people of Katsina State and Nigeria in general. This prompted the quick establishment of the Center for Renewable Energy in 2009, barely 2 years from the inception of the university.
Already, the government has inaugurated a committee to set up a teaching hospital for the institution, which will facilitate the establishment of a faculty of medical sciences in the long run.
And that's all from Abuja. Back to you, Amarachi.
Thanks a lot, Ivy. The president has given approval for the establishment of a naval base at the Lake Chad Basin to boost security in the northeast. Speaking to State House correspondents after a meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari, the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas, explained that the Lake Chad area is a strategic location that provides means of livelihood to hundreds of thousands of people, and the presence of the Nigerian Navy will help in consolidating on security in the area. Rear Admiral Ibas added that a dedicated task force has since been put in place to tackle the problem of sea piracy in the country. For the day's major business stories, here's Melinda Akinlami.
You first. First Bank.
Thanks, Amarachi. Welcome to Business News. The Central Bank of Nigeria has directed all banks to process foreign exchange demand for personal travel, business, medical and school fees at the rate of 360 naira to the dollar. The financial regulator gave the order in a circular issued to all commercial banks on Monday. The CBN explains that banks will be receiving the foreign exchange at 357 to the dollar and should not sell the monies to bureau de change operators, but only retail end users. Banks have been ordered to display the new rates of 360 in all their branches and to expect CBN examiners to move around to ensure compliance. In the meantime, the Central Bank of Nigeria continued its intervention on the forex market on Monday with a fresh auction of $1.5 million at 306.3 naira per dollar at the spot market, and that's 21% weaker than the street rate. According to a Reuters agency report, the financial regulator revealed that it would offer $100 million in currency forwards, that's to boost liquidity on the forex market. To reduce the gap between the interbank spot market and the street rate, the CBN has intensified its sale of the dollar, which dragged the street rate to 390 last Friday, down from the historic high of 520 against the dollar in January. With a 62.27% increase in shares turnover and gains across major counters, Nigeria's stock market ends Monday in the green. Bisi Adebayo tells us more.
final trading week in the month of March kickstarts on the positive side with a 12 basis points rise in the all-share and more than 1 billion naira increase in total market value. Monday's session saw a total volume of 561.48 million shares worth over 2.47 billion naira change hands in 3,032 transactions. More than half of the overall turnover was attributed to the performance of Stako Insurance, which pulled 333.55 million shares. The price table recorded a positive gap of 17 gainers, led by 7-Up, Unilever and Trans Nationwide Express, against 12 losers comprising Champion Breweries, Fidelity Bank and Livestock Feeds in the top 3 category. And that's it on the stock market reports. I am BC Adebayo.
Earlier today, U.S. stocks extended gains from last week as investors react to President Trump's failure to push a new healthcare bill. With more details is VOA Channel's TV business correspondent Dale Malandrino from the Nasdaq market site in New York.
U.S. stocks opened sharply lower, adding on to last week's losses as Wall Street reassessed President Trump's ambitious pro-growth agenda after his failure to push through a health care bill last week. That withdrawal triggered doubts about the rest of the administration's policy push, including tax cuts and the lone exception being the hospital and big pharma stocks. They are actually catching a bid off of the fact that ACA did not get repealed and replaced. For the week, the S&P 500 fell about 1.5%, the biggest stumble since November, while the Dow Jones Industrial Average also dropped 1.5%. The largest fall since September. The Nasdaq Composite posted its biggest weekly loss since December, falling 1.2%. Also of note, the volatility index, the VIX, shot above 14 for the first time this year on Friday. The U.S. dollar fell to its lowest level in 4 months, while gold futures, as expected, have jumped, building on their 2-week advance and touching their highest level in a month. Now, for this week, there are no economic updates on tap for Monday. We're pretty slow on the calendar overall, but a few Federal Reserve speakers will be on the speaking circuit, including Fed Chair Janet Yellen this week. For now, traders, they're focused on price action and what comes out of the White House, while we are in an information vacuum with little on the economic or earnings calendars. From the Nasdaq market site in New York, I'm Jill Malandrino, and this is VOA Channel's Business News.
Global stock markets closed mostly lower today amid rising doubts over the U.S. president's ability to pass legislative reforms for the healthcare sector. This is how the market ended on Monday. That's Business News. It's back to you, Amarachi.
You first. First Bank.
One of Abuja's luxury centres, the Dune Centre, has given out 250,000 naira worth of shopping vouchers to 6 families as part of activities to mark the World Mother's Day. The families won the vouchers after they participated in an online competition. Each mother and daughter of the winning families were lodged at the Dunes apartments and treated to a lavish dinner with their favorite Nollywood actresses. Our correspondent Gloria Umezoke reports.
Excited faces of mother and daughter as they go round the Dunes Centre in huge anticipation. They have just bagged 250,000 naira shopping voucher courtesy of the Dunes Centre, Abuja, in an online competition where thousands of Nigerians participated. Free makeup sessions and a tour of the Dunes luxury stores, including the Made in Nigeria store, housing a lovely selection of Nigerian fabrics, all formed part of the celebration of the 2017 Mother's Day.
It's a great pleasure for me to actually give this back to my mom out of the so many things that I have in stock for her.
The highlight was the lavish dinner. The winners were treated to a grand evening with a cross-section of their favorite Nollywood actresses. A sumptuous dinner and live performances completed the celebration.
to give up when I saw the other contestants and their likes, but I decided I wasn't going to. I said, let me just try. Jeans has actually helped we young ones to show appreciation to our mothers. I'm sure most of them didn't expect to get this now.
They really encourage we mothers and the youth. Such thing makes the children to appreciate me, their mothers. I am telling you, I have never enjoyed myself the way I did yesterday and today.
We need love more than anything. We need family more than anything. And I'm sure if we begin to do more of family and less of self, I'm sure a lot of the problems we're facing today will be reduced.
This is the first in its series of the Mother's Day celebration by the Dunes Center, and the management hopes to make this an annual event. Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
Medview Airlines PLC has launched flight operations to Kano State as part of its drive to link more states in the north to Lagos, Nigeria's commercial nerve center. During the maiden flight to Kano State, the managing director of the airline, Munir Bankole, said the state, being the center of commerce, requires better air connectivity. The entry into Kano also included a visit to the Emir of Kano, His Royal Highness Mohammed Sanusi II's palace by Medview's management. The airline will be operating 7 weekly flights in and out of Kano.
Routes are essential to an airline's level of profit. The more viable routes an airline flies, the better for its sustenance. But Medview Airlines says it's looking beyond profits towards making better connections in the northern part of Nigeria as Kano State becomes the latest destination.
Over the years in my career days in Nigeria Airways, we used to do a lot of flight traffic to Kano. And you know, in those days, business traffic in Kano is so big that all of us today remember Kano. We need to go back again to the basis of record. We have the population, we have the business, and the innovation is all about traffic, and that's the number. So both the numbers and the business outfit is available. The testimony to know that maybe I've come to add value to the business outfit in Kano.
Passengers are also elated with this development.
I've been going with many airlines, but by my experience, I think this one is, if it's not the best, it's among the best. Honestly speaking, I really enjoyed it, and the price is affordable.
It's quite an interesting journey. Every facilities there is quite interesting, and I really enjoyed the flight in company of other travelers.
The airline is not debuting in this city without royal blessings, and so the palace of the Emir of Kano is another stop for the management of Medview.
We fly to Saudi Arabia, we fly to London, we operate into other destinations. We deem it necessary to start commencing full flight into Kano. This morning we did the inaugural flight at 6:50, direct flight to Kano. We arrived here at 8:10, and the flight already come back via Kaduna.
While the traditional ruler speaks through a palace official, lending support to the airline's management does not take its leave before sharing this moment with the Emir. A meeting with travel agents was also part of the package. Medview Airline has offered domestic passenger services since November 2012, flying to several domestic and international scheduled destinations in West Africa, Europe, and the Middle East. The airline was recently listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange.
Still ahead on the news at 10, English FA fines Manchester City £35,000 for players' misconduct during the March 19th 1-1 EPL draw with Liverpool.